All right, time for a layout update. What I got here is just poster board in here that'll do this side. Later I have some really thick poster board that goes along here that'll be vertical. So once I put the homosode in like this, then I'll have the poster board in. Down here on this lower level, this is going to also have poster board and it'll fit in there. And what I've done now, I've glued these wood blocks in, and I'm going to come back in and glue these strips of plywood in like this. So they're vertical, 2 strips, 1 on each side of that block. Then I'll take another block, glue it in below so that it comes out to here. Rip a 1x6 or 1x4. So when I rip that, that'll go and hold the base underneath. And then I'll fill that in with cardboard. So basically this is progressing right here. This is rigid right here. So, and then I have in this area here where the bridge is, takes quite a bit of design and figuring this out. So basically this piece goes in here from the underside, and I'm going to fit in here so that it avoids the track. And it'll all go in there somehow, basically with a vertical in here that allows me to put something underneath this bridge, which this bridge is just hanging with the spikes into the rails where they go across right there. So there's going to have to be a block up underneath here that goes that way with some kind of stone paper looking like a concrete embankment. Now on this side, I'm gonna do more work. So let me move the camera. Over on this side, I've spent weeks trying to figure out how to anchor this. Let me move this so I can show you better. How to anchor this plywood to this homosode. This is Celotex, actually. It's the gray stuff. And what I did here was I soaked it in water and then it's screwed to the blocks that are underneath this roadbed, which I showed you in the last video. And then once I had it in there, I cut it. It dried. I can cut it better. Now these sheets go in here. They fit in like that. And then they need to be held down. And I know that if I put tape in, it would come out. And I spent quite a bit of time. This is irritating. I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to hold it down. And then I figured I'd just try putting some drywall screws in there. And this is a week they've been holding. So I can pull these screws out, rough the top of this up to expose the bare material, and then put some glue in there and put them back down. And basically, and I'll come back to this corner in a minute and I'll show you over here. So that'll be the whole thing. I need to extend this a little bit like I did down. Well, you can't see that. I need to extend this a little bit and then screw this all down and it'll be done coming around here. This piece is what I'm working on now, so I'll have all of it done. So let me show you that. These come out. I cut this too small for going out here, so I had to extend a bit on there, and I also glued a strip to make it a little wider. And what I'm doing here, this shows you how this fits together, is I'm painting all of this first because I don't want to make a mess in here. I can paint in the garage. It's easier to clean up. And so I'm working on this, and this has to be done before I seal this in because I won't be able to work up in here. Over here, the distance between the back wall and the inside is only a foot, foot and a half. It's easy to get in there. Up in here, I can't. So let me show you what I'm doing here. It's not working. Right. For here, this is the portal that I'm going to use, but I might end up making my own because I don't like the way this looks. But basically, when you look in here where the engine is, I don't want people seeing out there. So these trees, which I have hundreds of these and can make more of them, they'll go in here and fill up all of this area on both sides back into about here, right? Maybe a foot in, and then I'll paint everything inside here, including this wall, which is blue on the inside, so that it will. Let me bring the camera over here. See that? So that with this, these will be trees all in here with a line, so that when you look in from this direction here, you'll see trees and this blue, and then I'll paint all this will be painted black. And then what I'm thinking is, once I have all the trees in, I'll paint the roadbed black too. I'll come around and take this off, and I'll spray in this way with the airbrush so that everything from this direction is black. And that way when you look in from over here, it'll be green trees, this way it'll be black, and this back edge will be black too. So that gives you an idea of what goes on there, and then that base plate will go on here. But on this, because in here I have to have the wall in, that piece that I removed, to hold this. On the other end, there's a sheet in there that holds it up that goes through here, so I don't need that. All right, let me show you a little bit about what's up underneath. See how that works. You can't see underneath, you can't see too well with the dark, but that's coming out pretty good. Under there, I have these uprights like this board here that are in there just to keep this whole structure from moving around. Once I have that done, I can go back, put a few buildings, some trees in there, and there'll be a bunch of cars on that end section. There'll be cars down there. So that's basically where I'm at. You can see on here, that I have filled this all in. This is Sculptamold, so that's plaster with sawdust and other stuff mixed into it. Fills an area. There's a lot of the Homosote and Celotex stacked in there. And this will form a slope basically like this. So you could see that all the way down. So I want to fill in some more in here and a little more in here so that there's a nice slope down there. And then I'm thinking right here that it would be nice to build this up so that I could run like the Lionel Hudson would look great coming in through here, through all the trees and all that. So if I add to this, so there's a pile here that comes down, that'll give it some visual interest. And really I can do a lot because there's the street right here, right up in here. So I can't put any houses or anything in here. So I might as well build this out further. to give it more impact. So that's where I've got a whole month has gone by with it. And this is where we've gotten. So thanks for watching. Mm-hmm.